talking about is ley lines. Because I was out there, you know what I'm saying, hitting some good za. Cranking up. I was out there hitting some good za. We noticed one part of some clouds moving and catching up to this other part of clouds. Then in another part, you didn't even see the clouds moving. So I was like, damn, y'all, this is what I be saying. This is how my mind process things. And I see something, I take note of it. Then I'm like, if I take heed and take it further, that gotta mean something. Actions always speak louder than words. So I was trying to, exactly. So I'm trying energy, which represent numbers. So I was taking numbers and calculations. Like, why is the speed of that cloud calculating to that speed of light? So, you know. And I was like, okay, then this is a distance from 15 kilometers from the other clouds that's not moving. I'm like, that means something. So we fast forward, we was talking about atmospheres, and you know how atmospheres is layered in rows. We was going back to ley lines that she brought up, and I was like, oh yeah, you're right, because ley lines are also separated in rows and columns. So that means the atmosphere period is separated in columns too. That's the only way that them clouds had to be near the same atmosphere on layer. One of them had to be on the same layer in the same atmosphere. Wasn't moving as fast as them clouds that was supposed to be in the same atmosphere if the atmosphere was just layered by rows. See what I'm saying? But it's going to take me to more. Just some hot shit, y'all. Just some hot shit.
You won't lie?
Nah, I ain't gonna lie. I just record. I might pick some of this. I'm going to chop it up.
All right, here go Midnight Gospel.
Okay, we're going over here now. That's great. We're going in here now. This is great. Now you're doing that. It's great.
I've never watched this high. They tell me watch it high, but...
Just a little explanation before we even start.
Oh, we're starting. Great.
Magic is what I am. The reason that meditation is so important in magic is because whatever we fasten our attention on, that's the direction that our energy is going to flow in. So when you're doing magic, you want to keep your mind as single-pointedly focused on whatever you're trying to accomplish as possible. So that's what meditation does. It trains your mind, you know, so it's not constantly scattered and going into, you know, all different directions and dispersing the energy that you're trying to build up.
Right. I know what you're talking about. I've read some books on magic. I mean,
especially for people who minds that think a million miles a second, like now.
Yes, he does. And it takes forever to sort of crack open what he's even saying. You know, you've got to learn so much other stuff before you can even begin to understand what the hell he's actually talking about a lot of times. Because so much of it is written in a kind of code.
Woo! Yeah, I've noticed that a lot of that magical stuff gets put into code. It's like they're trying to protect it. Yeah, I've noticed that compared to some magical writings, some of the Eastern traditions seem way more simple.
Well, yeah, and the reason for that is because, you know, when you're talking about Eastern traditions, Eastern paths, most of these practices are set up to lead you to this state of what they call enlightenment, what in magic we call crossing the abyss. Eastern traditions are focused on doing that over a period of several lifetimes. Magic is like pouring jet fuel on that process. It aims to accomplish it in one lifetime. So what you're trying to do is cram several lifetimes of spiritual and energetic experiences into one. And that can be a little overwhelming sometimes.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. And is that Tantra? That reminds me of Tantra. It's Tantra.
Yes.
What the fuck is going
Tantra
on
actually
here?
plays a huge role in certain aspects or certain traditions of magic, like the OTO, you know, which Crowley was the head of.
Yes, I said you can't watch it.
I think I'm about to turn this off because our conversation will go back later. We probably watch. Yeah, that was good enough, y'all. I'm about to watch this. So I think I'm tuning out. I'm going to cut this up. We'll give you some of the atmosphere, y'all. Ley lines, so y'all know energy centers are real, y'all. Not to mention, I can go back. I also didn't tell you about this earlier. Remember, we are native, and I always want to prove my facts across the board on what I stand on. So, you know, again, I'm not talking in circles. I'm talking literally on a flat line. I'm setting the foundation for our people because we don't have our own history. So my point is that, remember, we got facts like the mounds that we got here that are ancient mounds, go all the way back for the pyramids, and some are before the pyramids, so-called, according to carbon dating. So, for you people who have nothing else to listen to, because remember, we don't have our own gadgets, we got to listen to them, we have mounds over here, that's before carbon dating, and we also have Olmec heads, which shows that people are like, they're like me, you know what I'm talking about, was here. So, what I'm saying is that, talking about that, they also was building the mounds according to energy centers, and this is how, or they was over there, I guess, wherever. The Europeans were, even though they're not from Europe, because we was in Europe, but you know, Caucasians
Because they came from
run
Caucasus
Europe.
Mountains.
Exactly. It came out of Caucasus Mountains, which is, you know, near the Black Sea and all that shit in Russia. Just like Mongoloids and stuff, Asians, Caucasians, you see. Oh, I'm going to tell you something else. But anyway, we built the mounds doing energy centers because we had things that we use energy to. I'm going to just put it like that. Not to mention, if you watch some of the ancient Egyptian documentaries or tablets, you can see some things in the ground like forks, like area of a feet, which look like how we do our lights in our front yard. So I'm gonna just say that. You don't have to believe it.
Yeah, they've been electricity.
Exactly. Not to mention, remember, these are the same people who use nature, so they always not. I know the sun is far for them to experience, but let me give you this.
Right.
We got something called a lightning bug, which is actually in the family. I think it's a beetle, which means it's been here for a while.
Oh wow, yeah.
So all they did is had to study something like that,
reptiles.
exactly, and they can make something just like a car battery, because this is what that insect is reacting off liquid reactions or combustions, if you want to say.
In their own body.
There you go. Not to mention, I have it also tatted on me, that boom right there, which is a wavy sign, which means, you know, means currency, and over top of it is a battery. Okay, I'm gonna stop. So. But of course, we used our symbols for other things, so of course it means something. This is why they put it on there. It wasn't just to teach somebody this is a battery. It was, you know, that battery makes life. Okay, anyway. Yeah, tune it out. Oh, look up Semitic too, y'all. When you look up Semitic, it's funny. It's going to talk about Afro-Asiatic. So how the fuck... why we go by black, African American, all this other stuff?
You're supposed to be Afro-Asiatic.
Afro-Asiatic. Have y'all understand that even shows you that most of the world... I mean, I'm sorry.
I've heard this term before in my...
All the world was dark, just like the people in India that's in the East Indies.
Yeah.
Okay, this is why they so-called thought we was them. Look at me. Especially my skin real clear. Look at me. They're going to say, and I put my motherfucking Moor hat, but I don't wear the red fez and all that other shit. I don't believe that you have to wear that. I wear my, like, an Ethiopian thing with the stripes because I know Ethiopia was controlling the center of the world. But anyway, that's another thing. Yeah. So then people be walking to like, damn, but you Ethiopian? It's funny. I'm like, no. You know, I take my hat off and start with my nappy head. People want to be like, you Haitian or... I'm like, damn, this shit is wild. It's crazy. Like how we don't know who we are. And we just so well diverse and we make everything. Just like Africa, exactly, has over 64 genomes. So this is why they told you that you so-called everything originates from Africa, which I'm not going against that. What I'm saying is they can't use that as evidence because just because you have over 64 genomes that happen to be of dark color, because again, that's what they're hinting to. That's what they need the correlation to. Because without just saying that, 64 genomes, over 64 genomes just means they've been mixing a lot.
Exactly.
There you go. But the second establishment of knowing they was dark colored mean they had the original color, and it's hard to dominate. Exactly. See, I gotta get what these people saying. It's a double-edged sword.
For so long,
there you go.
Already made
different types of ourselves. There you go. So this is why they say it's the original. So again, I'm not disagreeing. I'm just telling you. And also, Africa is the only one that's connected to the core. So what I'm telling you is we all didn't get stuck there when the world broke apart too.
Because when you look at the plates, how the plates move and how
Pangaea
is separated, Africa never moved.
There you go.
Other countries spread away from
There you go. So again, when I start,
motherland.
There you go. So when I exactly and talking about that, when I say that we're Moors, I'm sorry. See, look at God. When I talk about that, when I say that we Moors, see how the shit start talking about. I'm about to chill and watch this shit. Watch that. When I talk about when I say that we Moors, remember they call it like just they got evidence now. When they got Al Morocco, remember Al? Anything like even in Spanish, but in Arabic, it's related to masculine energy. So this is the Wild Wild West. Like men are the what? Demons. We are the man. We create war, chaos. If there's no structure. Do you see? Women are supposed to keep structure. This is why we're matriarch. But I'm going to just keep the kingdom. Let me calm down. So, what I'm going to tell you is this. It's called Al Morocco for a reason. The Wild Wild West over here in this world. In the western part of the world. And see how they divided the hemispheres.
Right,
west and east. Oh, shit. Uh-oh. Or should I say east and west, how they flipped us. Okay, so look. What I'm saying is that when the world broke apart also, it don't mean we all got stuck there. So what I'm saying is they also know it goes as far as scientific genetics. Just like sweet potatoes only grow in Africa and North America, and I mean in America's period. It can grow all over. But in Africa, that whole continent, in America, this whole continent, not just North. So that's... Not saying nothing since we don't have our own scientists. So again, donate to our science lab. But if you even had our own scientists, just like they should admit, you can tell by the soil who's genetically adopted and from here. And it still won't be Caucasians. It still would be the copper colors people that we also wrote the book on Copper Sun, because it's what makes us. It's what turns our skin copper. No matter how black you get, it's funny. You can look up to a black ass person, you're going to see that they're copper. Okay. Out of there. I thought of something else. The Al Morocco. Like I said, brought me there to the motherlands, and they call this Al Morocco. So the mother is what? The Eastern Hemisphere. The masculine energy is what? The Western Hemisphere. Did you catch on to that? This is the promised land too, because this is the land where we was hiding at when all the war was going on. Exactly, I can keep going, so let me stop. And this is how they said they discovered. Remember, that's true. He didn't say he found it. He didn't say he was the first one. Hold up, that this means already is a prefix. He took the cover off. Oh God, people. Sometimes you gotta start arguing with people and just listen first. And be smart as them sometimes. Be sarcastic and you'll find out, damn, hold up. You right, you got it. You got it.
It's fundamental.
But just rapping. More good people just like this, it makes me go. So I'm just rapping. I'm gone, Mo. I had to say something else, but I guess I'm gone.
Sorry.
Be back. Fuck it.